There are a couple of frequently asked questions that tend to arise whenever we present or discuss personal Wi-Fi with MSPs who haven't heard it before. So one of them is, can a tenant's devices still communicate to each other across SSIDs? And the answer is yes. So if the tenant here, let's call him Mike, was to roam across the property, he would connect to the property-wide SSID, and he would use his own unique PSK, which would map him to VLAN 1 in this example. So if he roams across the property to go to the gym and he wants to print to his printer, which is connected to the personal SSID of Teal Wi-Fi, that also puts that printer into VLAN 1, he would be able to communicate with it and to the other devices in that VLAN because they would be on the same VLAN and they would be in the same microsegmentation. So despite being connected to completely different SSIDs, with this neat feature, they will be on the same VLAN and they will be able to see each other. One caveat, however, is that you do have to leave client isolation disabled. I think as MSPs, you probably leave it disabled to begin with, but that's just something to be aware of. Another question is, can this feature work for student housing or when the AP to unit ratio is not 1-to-1? And the answer is yes. So each AP will still broadcast the property-wide SSID that supports EPSK, but in addition to that, they'll also have a personal wireless LAN that will be uniquely configured for the tenant or tenants connecting to the AP in that unit. So for example, if there's a dorm where there's 2 students per room and 1 AP per room, you would then configure 2 personal SSIDs. So at each AP, you'll customize the name of each personal SSID for the tenants connecting to that particular AP. So if students John and Jim are roommates in room 101, then the AP in room 101 will have 2 personal SSIDs, with one set with a device override for an SSID called Jim's Wi-Fi or whatever he wants it to be, and then the other one would be set to be called John's Wi-Fi. And each would put them into their own unique VLAN for microsegmentation. Another common question is, will there be hundreds of personal SSIDs broadcasting from each AP? And the answer is no. So each AP will only broadcast 1 personal SSID per tenant that's connecting to that AP. And only that AP in their unit, or the one that's closest to their unit, if it's not a 1-to-1 relationship, will broadcast that personal SSID. So it will be unique to that unit.